All right, we're back here on board with Crimea, East Front Series, GMT Games, Scenario 1, Tatar Ditch. Final setup here, and we start with, well, normally you start with strategic segment and weather, but everything's pretty much been planned out for us here. It's going to be dry for all turns, and you can see that on the side card here. Pardon that glare. So it's going to be the game turn here, and it's only 4 turns. It's going to be dry for everything. They've already planned that out for us along this track. So you can pretty much skip weather, replacements, reinforcements. The air phase, you don't need to have things recover. In fact, the Soviet player doesn't even get to try to recover his air readiness until, I believe, turn 49. And the Soviet 51st HQ cannot roll for recovery of operational status in game turn 1, which is the September 24th through 25th. And he is located right underneath here. And he is currently non-operational. That is the 51st HQ. So he's non-op, and up front here we've got some Axis super heavy artillery. Now these are the Crimea counters, so you're not going to see the A right after the attack value, but they cannot lend their attack strength in defense. But you will see, I think on the newer counters have an A, a big red A or something plastered right off of here. So the range is in the upper left on these super heavy counters. And the stacking limit is 0, and the DRM shift is here. But what I think I might do is try a bombardment against a fortification here, this strong point. Now, this is something from Army Group Center rulebook. I'm trying Crimea with Army Group Center, the new version, just to see if it breaks anything. We'll see. I think they mentioned that I could do a bombardment, and the Soviets here are behind a fortified line in a city, and they have a strong point, so it's going to be quite nasty. So I will check and see if I can do that bombardment. I think I can. I got a cat here on here. The Axis powers have a lot of artillery, but remember your DRMs can't go higher than +3 or -3. So, and in fact, the air power is pretty good for the Axis. Also up here, you can see all this in the ready box. The Soviets have one in the damage box, and then these in the ready box. So I think pretty much there's both sides are in general supply. It's automatic Soviet attack supply, and the Axis is always in attack supply until the last turn. So it's a pretty simple setup, but it's a hard scenario to crack because there's 4 victory point locations that you have to take here, 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 and it's not that easy. And you have to take all 4 of them. So also, it should be noted if you're going to bombard with super heavy artillery, the actual chart that you need is on the back of scenario card 1. Let me zoom out here. So you have your scenario card 1, Borisov. The super heavy artillery charts are on the back of that. Super heavy artillery effects table. I have never done this before. So I just have to be careful that I don't get my Crimea stuff mixed up with Barbarossa series. Luckily, it does tell you along the top of the charts what game it belongs to. So that does help a wee bit. All right, let's see. I'm going to, pardon my fingers here, I'm going to adjust my camera just a little bit. All right, we go to the Axis movement phase first. I was reading the way they did this battle, and I can't really say that I agree with the decisions they made, but then the last time I said that I lost, so anyway, I'm still going to do my thing. Okay, we want to make sure we get engineer effects, and well, this guy is way back here, and what's this guy doing? All right, and we have the SS up here, and they are withdrawn. Game turn 50, we need to get them into combat. All right, so here we have a fortified line and a strong point. We have a Russian tank regiment, I believe, and the 106th Infantry Division, not the strongest. We really need to just, I'm going to go for it and just blow through there, but there's an enemy Zok right there. we have a 3-4-4. And remember, when you go to attack, you have to attack each unit that you project a Zok into that hex. This unit that's pretty good. Yeah, the infantry we have is pretty good. The 73rd and the 46th. And we have a lot of artillery and air power. So for my movement phase, we want to really try to get the engineer in there for the effects. They're on a minor road here. They get their full MA. They're on a minor road. Minor road is... it's dry. It's 1/2 in clear terrain, 1 in other terrain. So I think we're good to go. We want to get bunker busting in here. So 1, and they're going to move in here. It's going to cost an extra 1 to move into that Zok. But they have 5 movement points, so we're going to trot this unit into that hex. And do we bring the SS down? We have to watch our stacking. Stacking should be fine. These are pretty small units involved in this scenario. Yeah, except for that. That's 8 right there. That's 7. We got a assault gun here with a no Zok. Makes sense. They're not very flexible when it comes to that sort of stuff. I have to look that up. I'm curious about the 109th Battalion. I don't know if I have any books that go into that kind of detail. I do have Slaughterhouse, but I'm not sure if Slaughterhouse is going to cover the 190th Anti-Tank Battalion. Or Assault Gun Battalion, I should say. I think, I don't know what's up with this regiment over here. He doesn't really serve a purpose. My board's sliding. I should have gotten no plexi on this one, so I apologize for any glares. We would max out stacking here. Definitely has enough movement to get in there. The only reason I'm doing this is because we have to attack. If I declare an attack on this hex, we also have to attack this hex. And I'm not looking forward to this in the least. Although this hex is pretty weak. But that fortified line is nasty. Let me think on this. Attack into Armyansk here would be... I'm counting +3 DR. I'm counting a +3 DRM. Due to the town. Engineer effects may be able to negate that. Then you have a strong point, which is +1. Then you're behind a fortified line, so it's a strong point and a fortified line. +1 DM. If all attacking units attack through it, which they will, engineer may negate. I can use that. Enemy strong points +1, +2 DRM if built on a fortified line within 4 hexes of a city, major city. So the Axis already hold Perekop, I think. It's not within 4 hexes of a major city. Nope. All right, I brought this unit over. He had just enough movement to get into that hex. He went down the minor road, and it was +1 movement point to move into this hex, so he used all 5 movement points. I'm trying to get enough strength so each hex can attack a defender hex equally, or at least have some strength on it. We're going to have engineer effects here into this one, probably. If we can break that one, even if this one doesn't work out because of the town, we can at least get back into here. I want to force a retreat. Okay. In case you're wondering about this do not move 1 game turn, that's the special scenario setup. And units with that on there, they can attack and retreat. They cannot advance after combat. Engaging in combat does not remove that marker. You have to do that during the recovery phase. You will remove do not move 1 game turn markers. And then if it's a 2 on here, you're going to flip it over. But this is only a 1. Also, we can't forget about this little unit down here. Almost forgot this poor guy. Did I put him in the right spot? 4014. Yeah, he's way down there. In Ashbar. That can't be rebuilt either, and it's a 4 stacked division. I think, I can't remember what the yellow means in the background. If anyone remembers, let me know in the comments. Oh, I think that means it's Soviet militia. Unit type box color coding. Soviet militia, which I have not seen. That's very interesting. It's got to be Crimea something. I'm fascinated by this little guy. If anyone knows that DNO abbreviation, let me know. All right, anyway, back to this. All right, we go to the Axis Attack Declaration. Declare all attacks and mark defender hexes with declared attack markers, of course. Yeah, what the heck? Yeah. We just got to go all out here. All right, we're going to do this, and we're going to hope for the best. I have a lot of artillery and a lot of air. We're going to have a big air phase coming up. I'm going to try to use dummy counters and randomly do that. So we'll see what happens. All right, Soviet reaction phase. It's going to be tough here for the Soviet player. Their HQ is a mess. And I believe during the reaction phase, it has to be motorized and they only get 1/2. I don't think any of these are going to qualify. Although yellow is interesting because I think that's infiltration. Yeah, that's infiltration capable. Right now, there's no one. I don't think the Soviets have any. Don't forget about that guy. I don't think the Soviets have anyone that's valid for reaction movement. So we would go on to the Soviet player designates artillery support. And a Soviet player issues retreat orders, which also do the non-op HQ, I believe I cannot do. Yeah, that's out. So if you look at 12.54, Soviet retreat orders placement, it cannot be within the command range of a non-op HQ. Non-op HQs cannot issue orders. Blech. Really, it's just going to come down to how good I rolled it here in the Axis might. Now, artillery support, the Soviets are pretty limited in this as well. Normally, only one Soviet artillery unit can provide support defending. 4 Soviet artillery units can provide support if they occupy a defender hex and if they are stacked with 1 or more operational Soviet HQs attacking or defending. That is not happening here. Non-op Soviet HQs may reduce the number of qualifying Soviet artillery units to 1. Yep. Let me see what we got here. For the Soviets, I believe they are only going to be able to use 1 here. All right, I'm going to take off. I'm going to take a peek beneath here real quick. All right, so it looks like they can only do that. There's only 1 right here, so I want to say I can pull this off, but I'm still going to bombard that hex with the super heavy. All right, they will contribute that artillery. They're going to support. I think they're going to have to support that hex, that defense. So we'll say we'll use a cube here to show that this hex is being supported. The red cube matches the red cube. And they're not going to have anything for here. They're going to have to rely on that fortified line and the strong point. But I'm going to try to break that down so that they don't get that. All right. After we do that, you get to the Axis combat phase. And this is where you're going to allocate the cash mission, combat air support missions. I don't need to interdict because the HQ is already messed up as it is. So this is where we fly the air power in. I've got some Ju-87s and some Messerschmitts, some 109E and an F. Let's see here. I mean, if I wanted to, I could try to get 2 casts on here. And I could try to get 2 casts on here. They're not. I'm going to have to send an escort for each one. Their air-to-air is brutal. Put everyone in. And now for the Soviets, I probably want to try to do... Maybe try to do a fighter with some dummy units and mix it up. They have a MiG-3, an I-16, and an I-53, which is like a biplane. It's brutal. Has a 1 attack factor. All of the Soviet units are pretty bad. They'll probably get blown out of the sky, but we have to try it probably. Okay. So the Axis player can do up to, I think he can do up to 3 face down on each desired hex, so we're going to do... It should be face down where the Soviet player can't see them, but I'm playing the Germans right now, so... we're going to do 2 and 2, so here and here, and basically it's the same exact thing, so these are... Except that's not as good. The 109E was not as good of a fighter. Now for the Soviets, it's 2 and 2, right? So I'm going to mix these up. And... Oh, I forgot one here. I'm going to mix these up. I'm not bringing this... I'm not using this. All right, I'm doing it blind. I picked 2 and assigned them to each one, but let's see what we get. If they're dummies, then... Oh, well. I'm going to put this guy back. I'm not going to look at it because I don't want to know what's there. All right, let's see what happens here. It should be noted that the non-active Soviet player can only place 2 air units. And the Germans only had enough, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I forgot some, didn't I? I did. I forgot the Ju-88 and the Heinkel. I actually forgot some units. Okay. I'm going to hold on to those, actually. Those are bombers. They can only be mission units. I want cast support on here. So I want these Stukas to get through. And they're going to be escorted by those Messerschmitts. That's what I'm looking for here. Now, another thing about declaring the attack, I think I have to declare engineering effects when I do that. If I remember correctly, that would be engineering effects into here. And I might be able to do a bunker bust, I think. I'll have to look that up. All right, but for now, we're going to stay on the air phase. I'm going to cut this video right after I reveal this so that... it doesn't get like super long and boring for you. All right, so now when you do the cache mission sequence, we want to look at both players reveal their air units and declare them as mission units or firing units. All right, here we go. That's a mission unit. This is a firing unit. Mission unit, firing unit. All right, here's the Soviets. Uh-oh. We got a dummy. That is not good, kids. All right. We got 2 dummies. Now, you saw me mix them up, so, all right. That is going to get through. There's going to be some flack, but we'll see what happens. All right, up here at the top. All right, we got a little Illugilich, whatever, 16. I forgot how to say it. And a biplane. All right, so there's going to be some air combat. So we do have, they're trying to intercept it. Luckily, I have a fighter escort up there. That's for the artillery. All right, so this is going to be pretty funny. Okay, then we're going to do the CAS mission sequence and determine air initiative, conduct air combat, resolve AA fire, and then see who survives and gets through. And then I think I have to do the bombardment with the super heavy artillery happens before we figure all this out. But that's for another video. Okay. All right, so that's where we are in Crimea, and normally, you don't see me play too much on screen because it kind of slows me down a little bit. So if I do continue this, I'll probably show the air phase and then play some of it off camera. There's some other games, too, that I'm still working on, Pacific War, and I want to bring in another one, but I'm not sure what yet. So we'll have to see what I feel like playing. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good weekend.